probably the most exciting thing about working in Palenque was the huge bullfrogs that ended up in my shower in my hotel room. Talk about an obstacle to overcome. And I knew that it was Arnold. And I stepped out of my room and I said, get the guys, come in here. I'm not standing for this practical joke. And they got a pillowcase and got all these bullfrogs, huge bullfrogs, out of my shower and put them into that pillowcase. And I got the key to Arnold's room. I don't remember how I finagled it, but somehow I got the key to his room and I had him take those bullfrogs, and Shane was going, don't do this, you don't want to do this. And I said, just you do what I'm doing. I'm not letting him get away with this. And Shane was going, please, Stan, don't do this. Just let's bring those bullfrogs. And we went into his room and his wife was visiting, Maria. I had to put those bullfrogs into the base of his bed, under those covers. And then the next morning, we got up, and I was driving to the set with Arnold, and neither one of us said a word about that evening. It was this silence. I wasn't going to talk about the frogs that were in my shower, and he wasn't going to talk about the frogs that were in his bed. You know, it's interesting. Years later, I was on a talk show and talking about The Predator, and then Arnold was going to be on the next night. And then I found something out, and this was years and years after The Predator. And I told the story about the frogs. And the next night Arnold was on. And he said, Stan, I didn't do it. And I found out 10 years later that Shane Mahan and my guys,
these are the finest monster makers in the world.
The guys who worked for me had put the frogs into my shower. And I knew it was him, and when I went outside and I said, let's go, you're getting those frogs, we're going to Arnold's, they didn't tell me that it was them. My own guys had done it, and 10 years later I found out that Arnold was innocent, and the real culprits were the guys from Stan Winston's studio. So that's the toughest thing about working in the jungles of Palenque.